Everyone tells leaders to just be authentic. But what if I told you authenticity alone is failing you and your team spectacularly? The missing piece? It's not more you, it's C.A.R.E, C-A-R-E. The blueprint authenticity needs to actually work. Hello, hello, hello. So good to see you all here again today. I'm excited, truly excited, because we have a topic here that we're going to dig extremely deep on. Because let me tell you, I didn't know how to handle this when I first heard the words, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey. So I read an article. In Psychology Today about maybe 2 weeks ago that said that authenticity is a playground for narcissists. I'm like, playground? What are you talking about? And for narcissists, honestly, literally wanted to throw my phone across the room. I was offended, straight up offended. But then I paused for a second, sat down, you know me, I had my cup of tea, and it hit me. And I realized, they ain't wrong. They are not wrong. I don't know if it's necessarily a playground, but there's something to what they had to say. Because I started to look around at us. You know us brilliant Black women leading in these corporate streets, doing our thing. And I realized we are authentic in who we are all day. But there's something about this corporate place. So without a blueprint, it is truly tearing us apart. And I want to tell you about 2 specific women today. You know them. You might be them. These are 2 of my avatars that, let's talk the real. We're going to start with Miss Simone. Come on, Simone. We know her. We talk about her often because, many of us are where she is or a portion of what's happening with her. She's the savior. She's the strong friend. She's the one the job calls when, something's on fire. She's the fixer. She's the one the church calls for the anniversary dinner when they need someone to plan it. She's managing her parents' doctor's appointments, and she's got her child who's applying to college. Truly squeezed in this sandwich generation. It's the real for her. And to the world, she's clean. She's got that Empire State energy. She's crisp, she's sharp, she's together. But let's be real. Simone is drowning, and she is terrified that if she stops moving, even for a second, everything's going to fall apart. And she thinks holding it all together is her job. So what does that look like? That means she has no container. She has nobody to talk to. She's doing this thing, quote unquote, all by herself. So when she tries to be vulnerable, when she tries to be what people believe is authentic at work, it then shows up messy. She leaks anxiety because she has nowhere to place it. And then she overshares. Overshares. And there's a piece of her that's seeking reassurance that everything's okay. So she connects with people. She does the connecting. She does the heart, the care. Obviously, she takes care of everybody, but she never sets boundaries. We're going to come back to that. Because we also need to introduce the one and only Miss Vivian Lorraine. That's right. She got 2 first names. You better claim it. Come on, Vivian Lorraine. And we revere her. Why? Because she's the survivor. Not a survivor, the survivor. And for us, Shonda Rhimes fans, she is the first only different. And for those who don't know what that is, that's all right. That's all right. That just means she's the first OG. She's the one and only in the room. She's the one who broke the glass ceiling before we knew where the hammer was. She climbed that corporate ladder when the rungs were slippery and the air was thin. She did the thing. But hear me clearly, there's a cost to it. There's always a cost, and we all know it. There's a cost to being the only. And Vivian had to learn years ago, right? Decades ago, that feelings get you fired. She knew that if she slipped, literally slipped for this, she wasn't just failing herself, she is failing the whole Black race. So she built an armor so thick, nothing could get in. She isn't drowning. She's straight up suffocating. She's lonely at the top. And now the world is telling Vivian, telling her that she needs to what? Be authentic. She's never been able to show up as herself. And she's looking at them like they have lost their flipping minds. She's thinking, if I take off this armor, they will eat me alive. So she performs a safe, fake version of vulnerability. She checks the box, boom, boom. I told them something today. But nobody feels safe with her because she never lets anyone in. That armor is solid. And let's be real. Back in the day, when she had to build the armor, there was nobody checking for her anyway. So here's the hard truth for both of them. Simone is in a severe capacity crisis. We know that because she has all the soul, all the love, all the heart. Like she is just beaming with that giving, but she does it without structure. Vivian, on the other hand, is lonely because she is all structure, but no soul. She's got that blueprint down, but there's no inhabitants in her sphere because she had to build up that armor. And both of them are failing at this authenticity thing because their architecture is flawed. Not them. There's nothing wrong with them. It's the architecture. You don't need to perform vulnerability. Like, I want to stamp that and make that clear. There is no need to perform it. You got to show up as you. And you need to then inspect your foundation. I personally use a framework called C.A.R.E. Yes, that spells care. And I want to break it down for you because this is how we help Simone save herself from the noise and how we help Vivian get free of some of that armor. Like, yo, it took everything to even put it on. And to hold it on for decades, yo, like, can we loosen it up a little? So here we go. First, we're going to go through C.A.R.E. We're going to go each letter and just share how it connects to whom they are and what shifts are possible. Now, here's the thing. I ain't telling you have to do anything. I'm just sharing what's possible. So for C.A.R.E., C is for connect and correct. Connect and correct. Here's the rule. You must connect before you correct, because correction without connection is just criticism. And that's Vivian's trap. She critiques the work like she's going to hold you accountable, but ignores the human. It's got nothing to do with it. It's the work and the work only. That's the armor at hand. But here's the part for Simone. Connection without correction is enabling. And if you are so busy being nice that you don't start holding standards, you aren't leading. You're just enabling mediocrity. That takes us to A. A is for acknowledge and accept. The rule is simple. Acknowledge the human, accept the data. Simone needs to accept the data. She needs to accept that she cannot do the job with 3 people. And that is a fact, not a moral failing. Like, I want to be clear. As a leader, you got to see what the data is telling you and take the appropriate action. And you cannot be out there doing 3 jobs because your team is not capable of getting the job done. Vivian, on the other hand, needs to acknowledge the human being. She needs to stop pretending the ghost is in the room isn't there and validate her team's reality. Like, I took us on a bridge there. Like, she's doing the work of holding up her ancestors. Let's be clear. But she has to acknowledge that people are in the room, and it's only through the people that the work can get done. R. R is for review and respect. This is a big one. You have to review the work against the high standards. See how this plays together? With respect for the person. Vivian's reviews the work, but crushes the spirit. She is hardcore. She will let you have it. You ain't get it done. Don't expect roses. Let's be very clear, right? Simone respects the person, but lets the work slide because she doesn't want to be mean. You have to do both. You have to respect them enough to tell them the truth about their performance, period. And E. E is for the educate and elevate. The goal is to educate so you're not the only expert, and elevate so they can grow beyond you. This is where Simone gets free. She thinks she has to do it all because it's faster if I do it. That's a lie from an inner perfectionist, if I can tell you so. If you don't educate them, you will never be free of the weeds. You have to pass them. You have to let them grow, elevate, and do the work. So you'll get focused up here and be able to handle things maybe a little differently. So when you look at it like that, when you look at the patterns that both Simone and Vivian Lorraine have displayed, Simone is running what I say is a diner model, trying to serve everything and everyone, chaotic and exhausted, while Vivian is running a fortress, impenetrable, cold, and empty. Once again, due to circumstance and situations, these are the things that they had to build for survival. I want to be very clear, very clear. This is how they survived, and this is how they got to the roles and positions that they are in. So we do have to honor it, but also understand there's opportunity. We need to be an architect. When we look at ourselves, reflect in the mirror, because let's be honest, we all see a little bit of Simone and Vivian, or all of Simone or all of Vivian in ourselves. And for us to balance, for us to get out of a capacity crisis, for us to move forward, we need to architect what's next for us. And we need to build a structure that can hold both the blueprint and the soul. So I created a diagnostic, always got something in the show notes for you. Always. I created a diagnostic called the C.A.R.E, C.A.R.E Leadership Scorecard. It's a mirror. It's a beginning. It's just the starting point, and it's going to help you see if you are leaking like Simone or walled off like Vivian. It helps you identify which internal interference, what I call saboteurs. Thank you, positive intelligence. I call them saboteurs. They are basically cracking the foundation of what both Simone and Vivian have been standing on. Because let's be real, we fought too hard for these seats, too hard to lose them to a capacity crisis or even bitterness now. You've built the career. You secured the bag. Now let's make sure you actually live in the house you built. Come on now. We're heading towards real legacy. The kettle is on. So let's get to work. Let's do this. Thank you again for being here and look forward to seeing you for our next episode.
Have a question you want me to deconstruct at the drafting table? Go to asktiana.online/ask and leave me a voice note. Thank you so much for joining me at the drafting table. Remember, this is more than a podcast. It's a community of architects, and we are all building together. So you do not have to build alone. Until next time, keep building.